Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm here. I did not forget about you guys. My life has just been a little bit of a shit show since January. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just taken me a while to figure out to have the mental capacity truly to come back and film. And even though I'm filming right now, who knows if I will edit it and upload it. So if this makes it to the internet, then congrats to me. Congrats to you for watching it. Thank you for sticking with me. But when thinking about how I wanted to return, let's just throw it back to a good old monthly wrap up. You know, I feel like you can't really go wrong. Even though my life has been insane, I still have been reading quite a bit, which I'm really proud of myself for. I read 7 books in July. I am filming this a week into August already, and our Wi-Fi is out for a few days, so I truly don't know when you're gonna see this, but I read 7 books. I have so many more books to talk about that I've read this year, so I don't know how I'm gonna be able to talk about all of them. Also, I just feel like this has been a really weird reading year. I don't know about you guys, but I have read very few 5 stars. I feel like all the 5 stars I've given are either memoirs, which to me, I'm pretty lenient with 5 stars for memoirs because I think all of them are amazing, or romances. There's really only 2 other books that I've given 5 stars that don't fall in those categories. Anyways, I have given a lot of 4 stars though. I have still read a lot of good books. It's just where are all the 5 stars at? So let me know your last book you gave 5 stars. Anyways, like I said, I read 7 books, so I just wanted to chat about them, not putting any pressure on myself, you know. I did try and film a books I read in May, June, and July the other day, and it just took a lot out of me. So also I moved again, so this is my room. I'm obsessed with it. I might end up doing a room tour because I love it so much, but it's not quite done. So yeah, first book I read in July was Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour. This is from Book of the Month. I gotta be honest, I think I'm gonna unsubscribe or whatever at the end of this year from Book of the Month. I just have not been impressed this year. I say that, and then my 2 Book of the Month books that I read this month were actually really good. But besides these 2, I feel all the other ones I've read are awful. So anyways, going into this one, I did not have high hopes. This is kind of a romance that doesn't really focus on the romance. It's about these 2 women, and they eventually meet and fall in love and have to work through a bunch of obstacles together, but it's mainly about their childhood and growing up and the trauma and that's affecting their adult lives and their relationships, and I really liked it. I think it's just about figuring out your 20s, which I very much relate to, so I think that's why I liked it a lot, because it just felt relatable, but it actually did. And I loved the 2 women's careers that they had. One of them made really pretty cocktails at this restaurant called Yerba Buena, and then she met the other woman because she is a florist and makes really pretty floral bouquets and stuff for the same restaurant. Come on, that's the prettiest imagery ever. I was obsessed. I don't know, it's hard for me to describe how I feel about a book that I love, but I just get that feeling, and this book just gives me that good feeling. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. And then of course we see them come together and work through their shit, but that's not the focus of this book, which I liked because I wasn't in the mood for an actual romance, and this delivered with that. So I would highly recommend. I really liked it. And then I read If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. I thought I was gonna give this book 5 stars because of the cover and because I've seen a few other booktubers talk about it. Unfortunately, it did not live up to my expectations, and I ended up giving it about 3 stars, to be honest, or maybe 2.5. It fell short for me, which is so sad because look at that cover. This takes place in present day South Korea and focuses on the unrealistic beauty standards that are absurd. You think they're bad in the US, which they are, but the percentages and stuff of people, of young women, girls who get plastic surgery, it's insane. I knew that was happening, but getting this insight from these characters really is shocking. So we follow like 4 or 5 different women who are living in South Korea, and they're all connected because they kind of live in the same complex. I really cared about like one or two of the women and like their stories and what they were going through. And right when I was starting to really get invested, then we would like switch and like go to these other women who I didn't care as much for. Like I just feel like this book was kind of spread too thin, and if more attention and storytelling was given to like one or two of the women, not the other ones, like I think it would have done a lot better. I think it started out strong and then it just kind of like fizzled out. And when it ended, I was like, yeah, there was so much potential, but yeah, it just kind of fell a little bit short. But I do think, I mean, it was written well. Like, I think there were some really quotable moments. Yeah, I am still glad I read it. I haven't really read anything based in like present day South Korea, so I thought it was really interesting. Finally read Dialect for Aunties. This has been on my TBR for so long, so I don't have much to say about it. I don't know. It's hard to like describe this book because it truly does not fit into a genre. Like, it's everything. It's a comedy, it's a drama, it's a mystery, it's murder, it's romance. It's like, it's a wild goose chase. I did really like it, and originally I gave it 5 stars, and then I sat back and I was like, it's a solid 4. It's really cute. I love all the family banter and relationships, and the romance was really cute. It just took so many turns and you're like, what is going on? But it reminded me a lot of Finley Donovan is Killing It. Also reminded me of like Where'd You Go, Bernadette, for some reason. Like, all those books kind of give me the same vibe. I would recommend it. Finally gave another book 5 stars, and it's a romance. Part of Your World from Book of the Month. This I've also had my eye on because at the beginning of the year, like, Goodreads has like most anticipated romances or whatever, so I looked at that list and this was on it, and I read the synopsis and it just sounded so cute. And honestly, this romance is just such like a breath of fresh air. This really successful ER doctor. She comes from a really wealthy background. She lives in the city. She has like a funeral and she's driving back in the country roads, and like her car gets messed up. This guy in a truck drives by and he's like, let me help you, so he helps her. They run into each other later on in that same little town at the bar and kind of go from there, and he is a little bit younger than her. Actually like several years younger than her, and he is a good old country boy. People love him. And just like everything about them is not supposed to make sense, and they're not supposed to get together, but of course they do, and there's so much shit thrown at them and they had to make it through, and it's just so cute. Oh my god, I loved it. I really loved it. It was perfect. Like, he is one of my favorite male characters I've ever read. It was incredible. It was so cute. Switching gears quite a bit to The Mountains Sing. This is historical fiction, multi-generational, you know, sweeping, kind of like Homegoing or Pachinko, but this centers around the Vietnam War and the lasting effects, so kind of like from the Vietnam side, you know, which I think is really important because I feel like, especially in America, when we like read about the Vietnam War, it's always from like an American soldier's point of view, so this is not that. We follow mainly 2 storylines: the grandmother who lives through the Vietnam War, and then the granddaughter who has to kind of see the lasting effects of it and how it affects her family. And this is one of the saddest books I've ever read. Like, when you think things can't get worse, they do. And just like knowing that all of this happened and like we're not really taught about it, and it is so sad. And it just devastated everyone. It devastated the entire country. I could not stop reading it. No matter how sad it made me, like, I had to keep reading it. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was really good. I think what was like a minor thing for me was, and like people agreed, I read other reviews, is like sometimes the 2 voices, the grandmother and the granddaughter, were like very similar. You could tell who was talking because it had like the year before the chapter, but sometimes like halfway through that chapter I'd have to look back at the year and be like, wait, who's talking? Besides that, I think it was so well done, well written, well researched. I think she took like 8 years to write it, so chef's kiss. It was so good. I think everyone should read it because no one really knows the history behind the Vietnam War and how it affected Vietnam, you know? Then I read My Policeman. I don't want to talk about this book for that long. I didn't really like it. I read it purely because of Harry Styles, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I gave it like 2.5 or 3 stars. I just got bored. I think it was sad to be sad. I did not like the main characters at all. I'm not gonna really go into the plot that much, but it's basically this love triangle, and the two men are like gay lovers, but one of them marries this woman anyways, and I really did not like the woman character. I did not like Tom, who Harry Styles is gonna play. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I am glad that I read it. I do want to see the movie still, and I'm gonna keep it because honestly the cover is very striking and beautiful. And last book I read in July was Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Y'all, I am so proud of myself for reading this, for picking it up in the first place. I am not a sci-fi girl. Y'all know that. Maybe you forgot in the like 10 months that I haven't been here, but I do not like sci-fi. I don't get it. I am just a dumb little woman, and my brain can't reach those levels. But I saw this in Costco and I was like, you know what? I have been wanting to read one of her books. I know Glass Hotel and Station 11 are really popular. Just never got around to it. And then I saw this in Costco, and it is like the most beautiful cover. Honestly, get this book just to have it on your shelves and look smart, and it's so pretty. I was in the mood, so I picked it up. It took me like 2 days to read, which is shocking. And I wasn't that confused. Give it up for me. I was not that lost reading this, but I mean, I don't think you should know that much about it. It's time travel. It's 4 different timelines that take place like hundreds of years apart. There's one timeline in like the 1800s, timeline present day, and then like 2100, and then like 2300 or something crazy. Usually I don't like sci-fi because of the whole like the earth is ruined and is on fire, and I hate that. And that was in this book. And they also talk about like pandemics and like COVID, which I didn't love, but I think the whole time traveling aspect was dope. So you like follow those 4 storylines and then like start to see how they are intertwined and stuff, and it's so well done, and it's such a short book that it's like incredible that it was done in such little time. I would highly recommend it, even if you don't like sci-fi. I don't like sci-fi, and I gave this book 4 stars, so. But if you have read her other books and this book, let me know if you think I should read her other books. You know what I'm saying? Because like I liked this so much that I don't want to like read her other books and be disappointed. Like I want to end on like a good note with her. So anyways, but let me know if you read like those 3 books and what you think. And if you think I would like the other 2. Those are the books that I read. Thank you for watching. I don't know when I'll make another video, to be honest. I'm gonna try and like keep up with monthly wrap-ups. I was also thinking I could definitely do a video where it's like, if you liked this book, you'll like this book, because a lot of the books I've been reading lately, I'm like, this reminds me a lot of this other book. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.